So it's another boys' week. The missus had a death in the family, so she's back in New York, visiting with family, doing all that stuff. So it's a boys' week. Just me and Jimmy here all week long. So I need a little project to keep me busy. This is something totally different from what I usually do on the channel. It's a big departure. I mean, occasionally I'll do some sort of craft or whatever, but this is a whole project. Yeah, there's definitely nothing more retro than aspic and Jello salads, man. And when it came to Jello molds back in the day, it seemed like nothing was off limits. From the craziest ingredients, the craziest shapes, the bizarre accessories. Yeah, Jello was definitely the Wild West of the culinary world. And while I greatly appreciate the aesthetic value that an olive, celery, and cheese Jello salad would add to our kitchen, the simple reality is I'm not a masochist. I don't want to eat that. So we're in search of a more permanent solution. Now, I've seen people make resin Jello molds before, but they were always, meant to be kind of cutesy, very pretty, lots of pretty fruit and colors, but yeah, I want to go original. This is making me so nervous. I've never done anything like this before, and I really don't want to screw up. Epoxy resin. Now, I'm told it's really important that you get casting resin, as I guess it's not the same as just the regular art resin, which is for like tables and stuff like that. This is more for dipping things, keeping things submerged in epoxy. Yeah, first time doing this, very nervous. So this process moves fast, so it's important that you have everything set up and, on hand. I'm also using ridiculous amounts here. The instructions explicitly suggest casting in layers, no deeper than 1.5 inches. I'm just hoping that it's not gonna never cure, that it'll actually cure. And instead I'm filling a 9.5 inch pan with 64 ounces of the stuff all at once. So safety is always primary, so we have this set up in the kitchen. I got the windows open, I got the fan going, I've got the exhaust overhead fan going. And of course, a pair of plastic gloves to protect your skin. I, of course, proceed to pour in the epoxy hardener first instead of the epoxy. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I'm assuming that's supposed to be the other way around. It also suggests in the instructions to mix this in small batches. Yeah, I'm just pouring both of the whole bottles in at the same time. Probably not supposed to do that either. Now, one thing I did get right, because I researched, is I got alcohol-based resin pigment. This is the dye that you're supposed to use to make any kind of color for your resin. I did, however, attempt to pour it without cutting off the tip first. And just using a crappy wooden spoon I was gonna throw away anyhow to mix. And again, after referencing the instructions, you're not supposed to stir it quickly and always in the same direction, so yeah. The reason behind this is to try to cut down on the disturbance and prevent bubbles. So I'm trying to get this past mint, past green apple to that classic green Jello color. Again, don't be this vigorous with the stirring. And that feels just about right to me. And now the fun part. Now, of course, I'm doing this wrong. You're supposed to be doing it in layers, no more than 1.5 inches deep, with like hours and hours in between. So, yeah. Also, this is something I was both worried about and expecting. My limes are floating to the top. Now, I was already expecting the cherries to float, which is why I have them at the top to begin with, but I was also just going to fill it to the point where the stems are just covered, so that'll kind of hold them in place when I put that final bit over the top. So we're just gonna have to, adapt. Now, since I didn't work in layers less than 1.5 inches thick, I have to go in and kind of adjust everything because the shrimp all moved around, the limes are just floating wherever. Yeah, and these gloves were a necessity because, there's no tool on earth as good as the human fingers. So I'm just making sure that the shrimp are equally distributed on the bottom here, which will of course eventually be the top. I also wanted to break up the cherries with these strawberries, but they weren't sticking together. They were just sliding down and I kept having to fix them, so. That idea just wasn't flying. So I replaced the strawberries with cherries and put the strawberries at the top with the shrimp. Whew. Now what do we think? Looks like Jello already, doesn't it? We had to wait for the resin to cure, so we took a little trip down to the beach. It's definitely cooled down. It's like mid-70s. It's supposed to get warmer, but it's nice. A little breeze. Having fun, Bubba? Say hi. So yeah, just us boys this week. Boys week, buddy. And he decided we've been sitting too long. Where are we going? Then back at the house, we put on the last layer of the resin to cover up the cherries and the lemons that were floating at the top there. And of course, Jello molds are all about presentation. So we got some fake lettuce here for our cake stand. Really looks real. Just organize that in a radial pattern. Of course, our paper doilies. Gotta have some paper doilies. Doesn't that lettuce look real? It's crazy. And the last leaf there. And now the moment of truth. And I'll tell you, so far so good. Look at this. Would you look at this thing? I mean, flawless. No cracks, barely any bubbles, just some at the bottom where you're not going to see it anyhow. It's so perfect. I mean, it really looks like Jello. So after some more reading, while I guess it's not suggested, since it's a chemical reaction, the more of it you use at the same time, the faster it actually cures because it gets warmer from the chemical reaction. So yeah, next morning, look at this thing. You know, you could just take this thing to every house party you ever go to, and you'd never have to worry about buying another one because no one would eat it. And I really think that I did something here. I mean, this is a whole nother level. I mean, it's that perfect Jello green I was going for. Everything looks great. I mean, the star of it are obviously the shrimp. I mean, besides adding like the gross factor, they look really, really good. I mean, they look like real shrimp. I remember when I got them delivered, Kat was actually pretty surprised at how good they looked. The lettuce is also very realistic. Also, a fun thing is I went with the peacock mold. Everyone uses that classic bundt cake or the one that kind of looks like a couple hot dogs stacked up in any direction. But the peacock looks really cool. It's very Art Deco. It does strike a little earlier, like kind of 40s, 50s maybe, but... So yeah, the plan was to see if this, turned out right. We're gonna go through, I'm gonna do a Halloween one next. Eyeballs and all that fun stuff. So this will just be regular decor throughout the season. Who knows, maybe I'll make a Christmas one too. But this will be the regular seasonal one, and then come Halloween, I'll make the Halloween one. Which, as you know, Halloween here is like September 1st, so. That will also be coming up. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. What do you guys think? And yeah, I mean, let this be a lesson. I practically, after going back and researching, I basically did everything wrong. So this is pretty reliable stuff. It should work pretty well. Maybe next time I go a little bit lighter on the food coloring, just to make it easier for light to get through. But I actually like this. This was the type of green I was going for. I didn't want that sour apple look. I wanted it to be like Jello green, so really cool. All right, well, let me know what you think. If there's any other ideas you think I should do with these. I mean, the sky's the limit, essentially. And until next time.
Stay positive if that's how you do it.
Décor.com.